Hello friends, hope everybody is doing well. Ray here to just give a quick reminder. This will be a quick video, but I wanted to kind of been on a little kick lately. I'd say for the last maybe year or so, I have been on a heavier gauge kick, and some of my guitars, a lot of my guitars, I've put some fatter gauge string on. I've been running some of the heavier ones. This one in particular, and some of my other guitars, I've been running upwards of the 60s, and I think these are even, this might be either 56 or the 60s that I had on them. But kind of as a reminder, and it's nothing groundbreaking or anything super original here, but if you're going through a period, and this is why I'm sharing this, because it's been kind of, I've been doing this. Some points after a while, you kind of get to a point, you almost feel like you're plateauing. And a good recommendation is if you get to that point, maybe try dropping your string gauge down. I've noticed that on some of the songs that I've been working on, the lead work is definitely easier, and just in general, it's a nice break to not have. In my opinion, you work a little bit harder with the heavier gauge strings on. Dropping down to some of the lower strings, I've been using some of the lower gauge, as I mentioned before, trying some of the different XT models on some of the guitars that I've gone as low as the 9 through, these are the 9 through uh, the 9 through 42s on a couple of my guitars. Generally, a lot of the different guitars I'm using are the 10 through 46. A lot of the NYXL, I think those are kind of a good middle of the road. Not too heavy, not too thin, but just a kind of good middle. On some of the other guitars, a couple of different guitars, I've actually gone down to the 42s. It's a nice break. Now, again, as you know, it's probably not going to be quite as chunky, but I find I can still play a lot of the same stuff. Maybe not some of the heavier, kind of fast, repetitive, chunking type stuff. But a lot of the other kind of stuff, it seems to hold up fine. This is the Jackson. You've seen probably in a few videos lately, the SL2Q. One of my favorites, actually, if not my favorite guitar. I actually went from a very large string on this one. I was using a 52, I think, as well, and dropped down to, went to a 9 to 42. I put 42s on this one. It's got a really fast neck, and I kind of forgot how much I enjoyed doing leads on this. I had the bigger string, and I was using it for a lot of the heavier stuff, but it was refreshing. It was nice. It was a nice change to kind of break to go to a lower gauge and remember why I like this neck so much, and why it's such a fast guitar playing it. So every now and then just kind of doing a switch is kind of refreshing, and it's nice. It's a nice change. You may want to do that with some of your guitars if you're kind of getting to a point where you're like, okay, I'm kind of, I don't know, hitting a wall, or you just want to try something different. Just kind of switching up the gauge strings to a lower gauge can make it a little bit easier. One of my newer ones here, this is one I picked up recently. I did a video on it not too long ago. This is the Jackson Dominion, the Mark Morton series from Lamb of God Artist Series guitar. This one as well, I had a heavy gauge on this one, and it was great. And it was great for playing, great for a lot of the heavier stuff as well. I dropped a gauge on this one too. Dropped these down to the 10 through 46s, the NYXLs. And again, it's at that middle of the road where I can still play a lot of the same stuff, but kind of giving myself a break. And it's just easy. I mean, the bends, as you know, it's just, it's a nice change to be able to really bend and not work so hard for a lot of that stuff. The neck and everything. So what I'm about to do now is put on the strings that I want to use. And as I mentioned before, I've been using some heavier gauge strings. The one I had on before on this Jackson was the 11 through 56 D'Addario NYXLs. They're great strings. I love them, but I wanted to try something a little bit different. Again, I'm kind of giving myself a break. They are very thick strings, and I know some even use bigger strings. Great for drop tuning stuff. A lot of the B, C type playing tunings, I was using some of that on. So great string. Here's another one that's pretty popular. I use this on a lot of my guitars. I think I have a couple of Schecters, maybe a couple maybe of my Gibsons have these on it, the NYXL 10 through 52s. It's good. It's got the low 10, but a pretty good fat 52 that I like. A real popular one that I like a lot is this 10 through 46 NYXL. This is probably on more of the Gibson type guitars. It's still got that kind of light, lighter gauge 10, so you can kind of bend still, but it's not too light. I like it a lot. And then on some guitars, like my Charvels, a couple of the Schecter, the Sun Valley, and maybe a couple of Fenders. Maybe I think I've tried the 10 through or the 9 through 46, and wanted to go back and give that a try. A couple of the other ones that I'm trying now, that I'm actually going to put. These are the ones that I had on my other Jackson Dominion. This is a 10 through 46 D'Addario. These are the new XTs. I don't know if they're new, but they're new for me. I just started trying them. They seem pretty good. They're a few bucks more. I don't know if there's a huge difference, but the 10 through 46 XTs I've used, I put that on my Jackson Dominion, and it seems to be pretty cool. What I'm actually going to be putting on this Jackson today is this one here. It's a 9 through 42 D'Addario. Nice packaging, huh? That's nice how they sent that. I'm going with the XT again, the nickel-plated steel string. A 9 through 42 on this Jackson. I have no idea if that's going to be too light gauge. Again, going from something like a 11 through 56 going on to a 9 through 42 is going to be a pretty big difference. But again, I just kind of enjoyed the easier playing, the easier bends. It's definitely easier to do a little bit of lead work and just give myself a break for a while, and I imagine I'll switch back. But go ahead and string these up, and we'll see what we get. I have busted two of my E strings, and I think it's because of the fact that it has one of these. It's got the locking tuners in the back, and I think because you only wrap them around once, I think what's happening is I'm putting too much pressure on that string. The way that these posts are wrapped, the strings wrapped around the posts, it's just too much tension for that small string, and that's where it's snapping. Is it's snapping right here at the string? So I'm going to try to wrap it maybe around once and see if that helps. But I'm giving it a try. I'm keeping NYXL in business by ordering these singles. It sucks, but it's better than having to replace the whole set of strings. So I'm going to give this one a try. I've got the Jackson all set up. The SL2Q is all done and strung up. I've got it intonated. It's all checked and ready to go. So we'll be checking that one out in a minute. And let's string this one up, see how we do on this one. Okay, so I've gone through now, and while I'm in here, decided to clean the old Floyd Road up a little bit. I usually just use like a toothbrush and just kind of scrub in there to try to really kind of get some of that gunk out. Some of that, I don't know if you call that oxidation or what, but you can see a little bit of discoloration on the chrome there. I've read a couple of different things that have talked about different chemicals you can use. I don't know, I'm a little hesitant about putting chemicals on stuff, so just a quick note for those that do have Floyd Rose versus a fixed bridge. Look how this is such an easy design. Like, I really wish Floyd was as easy without having to mess with all the blocking, the Floyd and all that. You just kind of stick the string through it and then just run it through, run it up here, and just put it in the old peg. So if you don't have a Floyd Rose, they're great, but I will say the putting strings on guitars that have a fixed bridge, much easier. All right, let's check it out. So just something to give it a try, just as a quick reminder. Nothing again, nothing's going to change the world, but just wanted to kind of send a quick reminder. It's just something I'm kind of doing. Just thought I'd share that with you. That's about it. Hope everybody's doing well, staying safe, getting ready for the holiday season, and we'll be talking to you soon. I am working on a few different videos here. I've got some different, trying some different packages, software, guitar stuff. I've got a few videos that I'm working on. We'll be putting those out very soon, demoing some of the different stuff, playing some testing out the different software packages. So look for those soon. I appreciate you coming by. Thanks for stopping. If you have any questions or like to leave any comments, I always love hearing from you. Thanks. We'll talk to you soon.